Hey, good to see you again. The team are now ready to start development on some new upgrades. You can review these from within the laptop. I'll speak to you later, okay?
Welcome back to F1 2016, guys. It's round number 17 for the Japanese Grand Prix. Getting a friendly little nudge just there, be like, yo, them resource points. Might want to be spending those. No, we're going to continue racking them up on the track acclimatization test right here as we come on through to get the purple lap time in our Renault, because we're still working on the big upgrade. I've been talking about this big upgrade, and I think this weekend is where we're finally going to get enough points to put everything into play. So there we go, track acclimatization, 50 points, nice and beautiful. Here we go, tyre wear test, nicely through the final chicane, and we're going to get another purple lap here. I did find the car snaked about quite a lot on that last little bit of hill down towards the line, so I was losing a bit of wear sometimes on certain laps there, but there we go. Q1, not great, not great. Magnussen 11th, myself 15th. We were half a second off the pace of Magnussen, of course, on the same tyre. I've been having a lot of issues with qualifying recently. I think where I haven't been developing the car as much, and just at these later tracks, obviously I don't know how they're going to be programming the AI, because of course when the game was made, they hadn't raced at these tracks yet, so I don't know, but it's on the sort of basis now where we are now into Q2, and you know the speed of the Renault is looking like a much more midfield team. Here we go, final chicane, get it in, take a lot of curb, on the power on the way. This is Q2, our one and only lap, head towards the DRS zone. It's going to be a 1:35.6, and it's only P11, and as I said, it's our only lap, so we're out in Q2. We still had 3/10 to find to get past Massa. Magnussen up in 7th, so he's a top 10 runner. But this gives us a few different options for the Japanese Grand Prix. First time in a long time we haven't been in Q3, so it gives us some interesting strategy choices, and I think we're going to have to think about that before heading into the race. But Magnussen is up there, so we can of course fight our way in. But it's now time for the Japanese Grand Prix.
And a very warm welcome to the Japanese Grand Prix, an event that has decided a Drivers' Championship 11 times over the years and has hosted some very memorable races as well. Who can forget Kimi Raikkonen's win from 17th on the grid in 2005, or Kamui Kobayashi's incredible drive to a podium in 2012. A lap of this historic racetrack covers 3.6 miles, and it's the only time during the season that we race on a figure-of-8 racetrack. The drivers can expect some intense G-forces through the 18 corners on offer here as they experience some of the highest average apex speeds on the Formula One calendar. And keep an eye out for overtakes going into the final chicane. And all this will be happening under the watchful eye of Anthony Davidson, who joins me for today's race. And assuming the weather holds, where do you expect to see the action unfolding today, Ant?
Well, most of the time, passing here is limited very much into the final chicane, or maybe down into turn 1 if you get a good run and some assistance from DRS. But if we're lucky, we might see a bit of bravery into the hairpin, a place that Kamui Kobayashi certainly made his own in the 2010 Grand Prix on his way to a very impressive 7th place. And as you say, Crofty, this is all assuming that the conditions hold out. We know how quickly the clouds can come in here at Suzuka, and if they do, all bets will be off.
5 races remaining, and you've still got a chance of winning the World Drivers' title. Let's grab a solid points finish.
It's a good reminder from my engineer there. We are definitely in with a shout of the World Drivers' title, so this is where I was thinking about putting a lot of work into the strategy. You didn't see it too much there, but the rundown was the team were giving me the option of soft tyres. So I was like, okay, we could look to start on soft and then do 2 hard stints. But it would mean that I would be using our best tyre at the start. So what I actually want to do, I'm going to run mediums. Mediums for the start. Well, my thought was, as per the strategy, medium, hard, hard. That takes the pressure off the hards, because when the hards go off, they go off really bad. Magnussen's in 10th for some reason, even though he qualified 7th, so I don't know if he had some kind of penalty or whatever's happened there, but obviously it's now a lot fairer. Of course, we're on our medium tyres as we now build to 5 lights. And the Japanese Grand Prix is underway. Classic Ferraris bogging down off the line. Magnussen looking to move out. We're in the slipstream of Nico Hülkenberg as we go towards turn 1 now. Looking to make something out of nothing around the outside. Multiple cars getting involved. We're pushed out into the gravel. We're past Vettel and the Williams. We're in a Williams sandwich coming out of turn 2 now as we go towards the S section. Heading up on this first opening lap. We've gone a little bit wider. We've lost a position to Valtteri Bottas. Hopefully we can look to hold that now. And we go back up into 7th place, slotting back in behind Massa. It looks like Vettel's managed to fight his way through there as well. I think both Williams are running on medium tyres here. So they're going to be running up using a similar sort of strategy to ourselves. We now nearly lose the car in the Degners. We're going to be looking to line Massa up here. The Williams car has definitely fallen off as the season has progressed. Here we go down the inside of the hairpin. Late move on Massa with 2 bites of the cherry. Otherwise, we'd have gone clean into his side pod. He might get a much better run than we have here. And he's down the inside. There's some wheel banging going on. Get forced out wide, but we should have the inside line as when we head into Spoon just here. Here we go down on the brakes hard. We're going to force Massa out wide. We've gone wide ourselves. That's not an ideal line. That's going to allow Vettel to have a sniff into the Spoon curve. I don't think he can quite get the power down. And we are now up into 6th place. Unfortunately, we weren't able to gain on the leaders that much, but then again, it looks like Raikkonen is holding up the field here. I think, and that's one of the Red Bulls pinning at the end of lap 3. That was Daniel Ricciardo, so he's making an early pit stop in this Grand Prix. And we've also got Max Verstappen looking to make a move on Nico Rosberg into turn 1, but oh, they've both pushed out very wide. They're going to have lost a heap tons of time. We nearly followed suit there as we're going through these initial corners. And here we go. We're clinging onto the back of the pack very nicely. And as we're going to see, Max Verstappen peels in as well as Hamilton sets the fastest lap of the race. That leads me to believe that Red Bull are on a 3-stopper. We've still got the Williams of Felipe Massa right behind us. He goes screaming into turn 1. DRS assisted. Far too much speed. Runs himself out of road. We're going to sweep back through on the inside of turn 2 and reclaim our position. And we're now up into 3rd place as other cars are making their pit stop. So this medium tyre strategy that I'm on, definitely looking like the one to be on as we now move on to lap 9. We're already in the lead of the Grand Prix. We're going to be looking to make our pit stop this lap, and you can see Mercedes have split the strategy. Hamilton has gone onto a set of medium tyres, and Rosberg is on the hards. So definitely multiple strategies playing out here in Japan. We've managed to move ourselves into a very good position early on. So like I mentioned, we're going to fit in hard for the middle stint, and that either gives us the option for running long and going for the soft tyres. Perez is out of the race, causing a safety car. So look, that's happened while we were in the pits, and it's allowed us to come out early. What happened with Perez? It's into 130R. He's got run out wide. Oh, we didn't see behind the flying Emirates on, but Perez has gone off at 130R at tremendous speed. You see a lot of guys come out of that, and they're, you know, if that happens in practice or quali, they can't race. So he's trying to pass Bottas on the outside. He's run out wide. Oh, and the Toro Rosso has come across, taken off his left front, and he's gone spinning into the barrier. And yep, that's definitely Perez out of the race. And as much as it's damaged Perez, it's put us in the driver's seat because, well, it's lap 10, and because the safety car came out while we were in the pits, everyone had to slam on the brakes for the Delta. And we are now behind Nico Rosberg now. We've only got the 2 Mercedes ahead of us here. Max Verstappen's behind us, and there's a sizable gap actually, but Rosberg is very slow at this juncture, you know, trying to give him the hurry up because we need to get to the back of the safety car before it carries on. I don't want to lose out because this could put us in a perfect position to try and challenge for maybe a victory. But I mean, Mercedes definitely still up there, but here we go, end of lap 13, safety car. We've saved a hell of a load of fuel. Our tyres have got a lot of life left in them now. Hamilton going to be taking up the position of the pace car now. Remember, he's on mediums. Rosberg and Verstappen on hards. They pitted a few laps before me. We bump it up to Rich in anticipation for the restart. Hamilton's going to look to punch it out of the chicane. We've tried to give ourselves the best run possible to get in the slipstream of Nico Rosberg. His car has seemed a lot more planted through the final corner, but here we go. We're going to pick up the slipstream now on Rosberg. Can we look to make the move into turn 1? Are we close enough? We give it a little look, but definitely not going to try and lose a wheel in that one there. Hamilton's medium tyres are going to be a lot more worn out than anyone else's hard tyres at this juncture here, so he's going to either have to think about pushing to use what extra little grip he may have and build a lead. Here we go, though. This is Kimi Räikkönen a couple of laps later. We did drop off the Mercedes, and look at Kimi Räikkönen doing a slide through 130R as he tried to have a look at us there. We dropped off the back of the Mercedes quite quickly. Here came Räikkönen down the inside. He's come across, I mean, he's done very well to have the reflexes to catch that there. But here we go. It's now lap 16. Interesting enough, Rosberg has pit for another set of tyres. Räikkönen carries on. There's 11 laps to go, including the one we're on, of this Japanese Grand Prix. Bear in mind, we put our tyres on at the end of lap 9, but they did 3 laps behind the safety car. And this was the moment that I realised everyone behind me is going to pit again. So I made a very conscious decision to think, you know what? You know what we could do? We could do a one-stop. Because our tyres got barely worn in those last 3 laps. Here we go, Räikkönen's going to look to come absolutely steaming past us like Massa did earlier on in the Grand Prix as we start lap 18. But he's done the exact same thing, run it out too wide, we're going to bring it back on the inside. But back to the point I was saying, everyone else pit, even though their tyres would have got barely worn behind the safety car. Everyone could have stretched their tyres and gone on softer ones. But my personal thought on this one here is, well, why don't we do a one-stop? If everyone else has pit, our tyres can get us this far. First and foremost, we have to deal with Kimi Räikkönen, who's looking very impressive. We've got on the grass a bit, going up to the hairpin. That's offset us, run us a little bit wide. Räikkönen got the perfect line. We got the longer exit, meaning that we've got a better punch here. As we now look to come through the long right-hander, heading towards Spoon. We're on the outside. Räikkönen's on the inside. We're slightly later on the brakes. Contact between our left rear and Räikkönen's front right. He managed to catch it, though, at the corner of my eye. Definitely cost him time against us now. As we come on now to start lap 19, I think we're going to look to see the Ferrari peel into the pit lane. Yes, indeed, he does. I don't know if he sustained any front wing damage in that contact, though, so that could potentially be what it is. So now we have 8 laps left of the Japanese Grand Prix. We're in the box seats. Kevin Magnussen pits. Rosberg is now our next contender, but he has only just gone past the pit exit. We're now on lap 20, and we're 11 seconds in the lead, so provided our pace doesn't diminish, we should be fine. You know, Rosberg has got to catch us easily, like well over like a second and a half a lap to try and catch up to us. And our tyres weren't going off. I mean, I just set my best lap of the race. I started to feel like my tyres were getting hooked up nicely, and as you just saw there, they're only at 40%. Not even that really at the moment, so the tyres are holding on very nicely. And this was the point where because obviously when I suggested doing the one stop, I was like, can I do it? But looking at the tyre wear here, I don't see what the issue is. We've now got 9 seconds to Rosberg. He's not catching us as fast as he needs to. But here we go. The problem is the tyres did start to wear out. And as we start lap 26, you can see they're at that 60% point where you would figure to pit. Rosberg is now only 1.6 seconds behind us. So maybe not this lap, but on the last lap, he's going to have DRS. Hamilton's lapping 2 seconds a lap faster than us in 3rd place as well. Here we go. Lap 26. Rosberg on the outside. Here we go. Up to 130R. Very similar to where we had Kimi Räikkönen. We just keep the lead of the race. Rosberg not having to do any kind of gymkhana slides there as we go through the final chicane to start the last lap of the Japanese Grand Prix. We've got just enough fuel to make it. Rosberg going to be eyeing us up into turn 1. He's got the Mercedes engine, slipstream, DRS. We move across to try and break the slipstream. Look at the closing speed on the Mercedes though. Kind of offsets us a little bit into turn 1, but the front grip still just there to get us in. We've got 70% on our front tyres, and this is the final point for Rosberg. There's no DRS on this back straight towards 130R, but he has the most powerful engine. He goes to the outside. We're on the inside, similar to the last lap. We're using just the right amount of fuel. Oh, they're briefly touched. Rosberg's gone wide. We've taken a lot of curb on the inside, but there we go into the final chicane for the final time, and the one-stop strategy has led it to us as we come across the line to win the Japanese Grand Prix.
Absolutely fantastic. It's a brilliant result. Well done.
So, another fantastic victory for Renault today. Tell me, Ant, what was the key to this success?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
Here come today's winning drivers, and what a race it was. This is a team that knows success very well in F1, and they're just itching for even more. Congratulations to the Renault team for their excellent win today. So then, it's time
Anthony Davidson was right. The safety car helped us out. The safety car came out at the right point for us to gain time in the pit stops, and it allowed our hard tyres to go the distance, to pull off the one stop while, you know, you had the Mercedes on 2, other teams on 3. Daniel Ricciardo with 4 pit stops in the end. We get driver of the day. Sorry, Max, but, you know, you didn't deserve it on this one, apparently. And what a race, what a race. It was hard. Obviously, we got the reminder from our engineer that we still got a shot at winning the World Drivers' title. We do. 4 rounds left after this one. We've got 56 points behind Hamilton. It's going to be an uphill fight. But we showed off this weekend. If we have moxie and strategy, we can do it. The car felt great around Japan. It really did. So now we can look to focus on improving the car and building over the next few Grand Prix weekends, as we're going to head off after this one. It's over to the United States Grand Prix in Texas at the Circuit of the Americas. As we move on to the constructors, we can see we're locked in a fierce battle with Red Bull. We're only 30 points behind. We won today, but Magnussen, I don't know where Magnussen was. You know, so I mean, we're pretty much carrying the team on its back, but it's been a great weekend for us again. You know, I couldn't have asked for anything better. So here's the big update. I did chassis weight in between qualifying. There's the front wing. We needed the chassis weight and the downforce. If you have a look on the right, that projects us to be ahead of Williams. So that's going to be our big update heading towards the American Grand Prix, because we've got a very fast first section there that are going to want to be quick in. And then we've, of course, got the straight line. So I think our next upgrade after this one's going to be the engine. But guys, thank you very much for watching. Sorry if I seemed off my game a bit today. My voice has just felt really weird in that initial part. I'm trying to, I don't know, just process, you know, kind of how I'm feeling in my brain, as well as try and do the commentary. But thank you very much for watching. What a Grand Prix, what a win. That's exactly what we needed after the race in Malaysia. Leave a like if you have enjoyed, and comment any feedback down below. It'd be very much appreciated. Do subscribe if you want to be notified about the content coming to the channel. I will see you all next time.